So one of the benefits of finding your purpose and being aligned is you find ways to be creative with your time. So you'll notice a lot of my videos might be shot here in my car. It's because I'm on my lunch hour, and I'm taking my lunch hour to try to be productive towards my purpose, my calling, my ministry. That type of alignment helps bring me to a point where I find time in the day. We all have 24 hours every day. It's how we use it. Time management, and it's always been something that sometimes I struggle with, sometimes I do really well with. Consistently inconsistent is the term I like to use, kind of like my golf game. If you see my clubs in the back there, I'm consistently inconsistent on the golf course. So I hit a few great holes, hit a few not so great holes. So and it's the same way with time management. It's about being consistent. It's about being able to map out your time, your day. And again, I talked the other day about, I did a little blurb on the Go Crazy Planner. Not selling these things, but it's my tool. It's a tool, not my tool. I don't own it, but it's the tool I use that keeps me centered and keeps me focused. Helps me plan my day. And you can use whatever tool you want, but you got to have a plan. That's the one thing that I've noticed about myself. If I wake up in the morning and I don't have any idea of what I'm going to do that day, the day just kind of goes, and I kind of go with the day instead of taking control of my day. And this isn't anything new. We most of us probably known this for years. We've been told, oh, you got to plan your day, you got to manage your time and your resources, and it's nothing new to us. It's just actually putting it into practice that's sometimes the tough part, and being consistent with it. That's where I've tended to struggle over the years. Is I'll get all excited about something and I'll go all in and chase it down the road for a while, then I'll get bored with it, or something will come up and I'll make an excuse for not following through with it, or continuing to do it. Working out's the same thing. I try to work out every morning for about a half hour. If you look at my track record over the last couple of weeks, it's been decent. Maybe 5 out of 7 days, or 4 out of 7 days, which isn't super, but it's better than what I was doing. My goal is to work out 5 out of 7 or 6 out of 7 days a week. Nothing exciting. I'm not, turning into Hercules or anything, but just something to get moving. And it's about being consistent. And that's, for me, creating that habit of getting up early, which means I need to go to bed on time. I used to stay up late playing Xbox. I loved Xbox. I have some really good friends that I made over the years on Xbox. They keep bugging me about, hey, when you coming back? When you coming back? But I actually uninstalled the game because a couple of reasons. It was getting very frustrating. I was cussing at the game, swearing at the game, and just not having any fun playing. Although we'd be on there with my buddies and stuff, and they're fun to hang out with online. But the game itself was just getting to be annoying and a distraction for me, and I wasn't in the place I wanted to be, so I uninstalled the game. So now I'm not up till 12 o'clock at night playing a video game and hanging out with my buddies online. So I'm getting to bed at a decent time. So my schedule is basically, I try to be in bed by 10:30, lights out, screen off, no distractions, and then get up at 5:25, 5:30, somewhere in the next morning. Get up, do my routine. I call it my morning success routine, which is basically, I get up, I do a quick workout, spend some time in the Bible reading and doing a devotional and praying. Pray every morning. I pray over my family, pray over my friends, especially my friends that might be going through something particular. Maybe it's a medical issue, or a financial strain, or a relationship thing. I pray over my family, my friends, just my calling. God's got a purpose for my life, and one thing I do know 100% for sure is, and that He has a calling for everybody. He's got a purpose for everybody. He loves you. He loves me. He's got a perfect plan for our life, and it's never too late to find and follow that plan. And I love the scripture, Jeremiah 29:11 talks about the fact that He does have a plan. He's got things all worked out. So it's just getting in line with Him and figuring that out. So that's the biggest reason I started this YouTube channel, is because I felt that in my spirit for years, that my purpose has always been to help people find and discover their purpose, and that God's got something for us. It may not be super spectacular fireworks, but it's something. And it's something. And once I got aligned with that purpose, things just started falling into place. My life felt better. overall. My mental state was better. I felt like I was working towards something, which I am right now. I'm working towards building this channel up so I can influence and help other people, inspire others to go after their purpose and passion, and link it to scriptural definition. I'm not a pastor, I'm not a preacher, but I do believe in God, and just because I talk about God and believe in God doesn't mean that I think I'm holier than anybody else. I sin, I make mistakes, I screw up. God is there to help me through that, and He's there for you too. So that's the cool part about this mission I'm on, or this, I don't know, ministry, whatever you want to call it. I call it my purpose. I love doing this stuff. I love learning and teaching and sharing insights. I'm working on it's going to be either a 3 or 5 part series on actually diving in and discovering the purpose and your purpose, and kind of getting some meat and potatoes put together for that. Not just some short videos like I'm doing here, but some actual, I don't call it a training, but maybe kind of like a training, I guess, to help people discover what it is that's truly in their heart that God's placed there. And a scripture that popped out at me again this week when I was just kind of thinking and meditating was, delight yourself in the Lord and He will give you the desires of your heart. Well, I got thinking about that. Well, what if my heart's not aligned with God, so I'm not delighting myself with God, so my heart desires are not aligned with His purpose or plan, and things can get a little rocky. So when I started being more focused on reading scripture and reading a devotional in the morning and praying and really trying to stay in tune with God, then I think my heart's getting to the point where it's like, oh, well, we're going to follow God. So God's like, okay, you're following me. Your heart's aligned with me. So now we start rolling out these things that God's got planned for me, which it's kind of like, I don't know, cart before the horse maybe, or chicken or the egg, which came first, I don't know. But with delighting myself in the Lord, then I have the opportunity to be able to follow the things He's called me to do, and then also to be able to eventually move fully into my calling or purpose. So there's no real need for me to struggle with that. As long as I'm aligned with what he's called me to do, then it's just like a piece of the puzzle that falls into place. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that right now. I don't know, I go into those little tangents, these little rabbit holes now and then, and I think I'm going to talk about something next thing I'm off over here, but that's part of being part of why I want to sketch out this 3 to 5 part series, because I don't want it to be scattered. I want it to be very focused for you, and able to be digest and be able to apply it to your life. Over the years, I've read books, watched videos, listened to people on back in the day, cassette tapes, if you remember those, talk about being motivated and that type of thing. That was great. They always said, what to do. You got to do this, you got to do that. Well, they never really helped me to understand how to do that. And that's what I'm hoping to do here, is to give the how-tos. Okay, how do you find your purpose? Okay, when you find your purpose, how do you move to the next step? How do you find guidance? And all this stuff will be in the series. But that was my biggest thing. Was there's a lot of what to dos out there. I think most of us know what to do for the most part. But sometimes that how to connect with people, how to find mentors, how to find somebody that can help guide you. Those things are not always as clear. We can figure it out. We hit our heads against the wall a few times, and we figure out that's not the direction to go. Maybe go a different direction. But I would love to be able to connect with people and help. I think our life goes through some, I guess, kind of called learning curves. You're kind of taking off and you're going up like this, you're learning some stuff, and then you kind of plateau and maybe learn some new stuff. I'd like to help kind of smooth that learning curve out, so it's a quicker transition from trying to get from where we are today to really living our purpose, really living our dream life, so to speak, every day. And I'm not talking about, 10-week vacations and, millions of dollars in the bank and blah blah blah. That to me is all stuff. That's all earthly stuff. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind taking a nice vacation with my family, but when I talk about dream life, to me dream life is knowing that I'm pleasing God, knowing that I'm doing what He's got me here to do. If by some chance I'm blessed financially, beyond what my family needs and what we have to take care of, then that to me is God saying, okay, I'm trusting you with this extra. Go do something productive with it. Being a good steward, going out and maybe building a church or helping some missionaries travel abroad. I don't feel that I'm called to mission work. That's just not in my spirit. I am called to teach. I am called to share. I think that's probably the biggest eye opener I've had in the last few years, is that this is really something I do. I've been gifted with, and this is from God and not me. I've been gifted with the ability to take information and be able to, it can be kind of hodgepodge, but be able to take it and streamline it and present it to folks so that it's understandable and that it's relatable and applicable to their lives. And that's the biggest impact I feel I'm going to have with this YouTube channel, Aligned Ambition with Creative James. So I named it that. Just seemed like it was a great fit. People that know me know that I'm very creative. I'm very goofy. It's hard for me to be serious. I joke around at work. I say, you get serious, James, for 30 seconds. So lock in when I get serious, because it's only about 30-second bursts. Been a little bit longer here, but I'm kind of, just trying to be a little subdued here, which is hard for me. But anyway, so Aligned Ambition with Creative James. Just getting started. I don't know, this is probably my fifth, sixth video I've thrown on here, but it is in my heart to share this with folks and put myself out here. And I know there's folks out there that are probably shaking their head going, who's this goofball? And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I don't care. God's called me to do this, and that's what I'm going to do. And if something changes, then I'll do something different. But until that point, God's got me here, and again, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my best to reach folks through however I can. I just want to make sure that I'm aligned with Him, and that my ambition is in the right direction. I've done a lot of stuff over the years. I asked my wife. I've tried a lot of different things, trying to just make money, and that wasn't. They weren't fulfilling. This to me has been super fulfilling. Just what I've done so far, and some of the stuff I've done in the past, and that to me is what Aligned Ambition is all about. Aligning with God's purpose, fulfilling that calling on your life, my life, being a little bit better me tomorrow than I am today. So every day just getting a little bit better. Never be perfect, and God doesn't expect us to be perfect. One of the things that I learned last week, or I've heard this before, and I've said this before in the past, working on things, it's like good and done is better than perfect, because it will never be perfect. And I'm talking about some of the content I put out. So sometimes these videos are a little goofy or maybe a little rambling, but I would rather be genuine and throw this out there and say, okay, this is me, warts and all, and instead of spending 6-8 hours trying to edit every little yuck out of it, I just don't see the sense in that. And I think with all the AI out there right now, I definitely, I did get off track a little bit, being transparent. I was having AI help me develop the content, and I'm like, I started reading through and I go, this isn't me. This isn't the message I want to share. So I backed way off of that, and I'm connecting with God more so than ever before on this type of stuff, just because He's my source, not ChatGPT or whatever AI source I decide to use. But I think it's important to be genuine. There's so many AI generated videos and so much content out there that I watch something on TikTok and I'm like, is that real? Is that really real? Is that really real? And I go to fact check it, and 9 times out of 10 it's somebody just made something up, and that was it. But sometimes it is genuine, sometimes it is real. I don't know. But anyway, so that's my video for today. I hope you all have an amazing rest of the day, and God bless you all, and we will connect again soon.